got my vlog. The next episode is going to be about relationships in Dubai. Hey guys, this is a little bit random. Can you guys give me a few sentences about what you think about relationships in Dubai? So I'm gathering information from a bunch of people who used to live there or still do live there. Grazie. Spiced black rice pudding, poached fruit and finger lime. It tastes actually quite similar to a Filipino rice pudding that we have, but there's a sourness to it. Citrusy. What's the green? Finger lime. Duh. Poached fruit. Do you know what? It tastes like kumquat. Or we say calamansi. That was delicious.
Hawaiian rice pudding.
Yep.
There'll be $21 please.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good day. We are going to a place called Peel Island. So we've been on the boat for like 5 minutes and we've had engine failure right after it's been serviced. But guess what we've got? We are going to take these and we're going to take ourselves back to the island. Funny thing is, I'm not even joking. So yeah, let's go. Let's start this. Let's go.
Paddle?
He's asking if I need help, I think. Yes, we have rescue! We're getting rescued by this champion over here. Yes! No rowing. Alright, time to get towed. Well, fishing on the boat didn't really work out, but that's okay, because we're here now. Welcome to the Spit. I didn't want the opinions to be too biased based on my own experience, so I got in touch with some friends to get some of their input. This is how it went.
I think relationship in Dubai is not very long lasting because everybody come and go. Everybody just want to have a good time.
The ratio of women to men, especially as a flight attendant in Dubai, are insane. You figure that the job is predominantly made up of women, and of the modest 25% of cabin crew that are men, it's safe to assume that at least half are gay. My advice to the ladies that have to pick from this group of crotch-scratching, foul-mouthed, beer-swelling animals is to choose carefully.
There's just a lot of people out here to have a good time, so yeah, it could be fun. For serious relationships, I think it takes a lot of time and effort. For people who are cabin crew, I think it's much more complicated.
I've always been a little bit skeptical when people started to complain about relationships in Dubai. Same stories that are here about bad relationships, cheating, or vanishing partners, name it. I also hear them back home. So I'm not sure if it's something related to the place or mainly to the generation.
I think end of the day, we all want the same thing, whether that's friendship, or a companion in general. You'll get this anywhere else in the world. I don't think it's just Dubai in particular, but it happened to be here because we're here.
Finding a solid relationship in Dubai is definitely possible, but it's trial and error, and most importantly, it takes time.
The best relationship to have in Dubai is a friendship, and that's it. Everybody doesn't really know what they want. Everybody just wants to around. Everybody wants to taste flavors from different countries.
Relationships in Dubai are no different anywhere else around the world. It's timing. I've been in Dubai for 10 years, and when I first came here, I wasn't looking for a relationship. Long term anyway.
About being in a successful relationship for such a long time, I think it takes from both parts understanding, I wouldn't say changing, but adjusting, also empathy, taking care of your partner, being there. I think that's the main thing of any relationship.
Be careful of who you date in Dubai, because there are many, many dodgy people.
To not let Dubai change who you are.
There were a couple of recurring themes: fun and or play. Some say it's difficult, or actually most of them say it's difficult. Dubai offers a lot of opportunities to meet people because you're out and about all the time with a lot of single folk. That opens up opportunities, but in saying that as well, because it takes time to meet the right person, then sometimes it can also mean a lot of opportunities for heartbreak. One of the additional driving forces which may not exist in your normal life back home is loneliness. For that reason, you're a bit more open to meeting people, and for that reason, you might go through more people than what you normally would, for the lack of a better term. Dubai is quite a small community. People get to know people and know of people and want to be connected in some way, shape or form to certain other groups of people. Everyone can have their 2 cents and share their piece of what they think about someone's relationship or what they think they know about a couple's relationship. Sometimes people can really like drama. At the end of the day, it's kind of like living in a small city where everyone knows each other and knows of each other. Keeping your relationship private, being secure in your relationship, it's a helping factor. At the end of the day, you'd still be making decisions for yourself. The consequences of your decisions are for no one else to put up with, but yourself as well. Some crew and some people will swear to never date crew, and I guess there is a reason for that. Just the stress of having that kind of relationship where both of you are always on the go, both of you are always meeting other exciting, attractive people. It can be a challenge. So some people can just opt to not put themselves in that situation. Whether or not that closes up their opportunities for being in the right relationship, that's a whole different story. But you know, each to their own. I didn't really believe in listening to what everyone had to say about the relationship that I was about to go into, and I think that was a good thing, not just for the relationship but for my mental health. It wasn't easy, that's for sure. It wasn't a pleasant experience. Trust and loyalty, two strong values that can keep a relationship intact. But in saying that, a lot of this stuff may also come from your feelings about yourself or your past experience, or maybe a combination of both. When you add it into an environment where your partner and yourself have a lot more freedom, then if you already have those things to sort of work on, things can get shaky. Only because you're probably already in a testing situation, and then you put it in an even more testing environment, then things can be a little bit tricky. We're back to the house. We're going to continue here because you couldn't really hear me. It was getting a bit too windy and the high tide was coming up, so the spot that we were sitting in was getting, what's it called? I'd forget about it. Do people cheat more? I don't think so, not necessarily. I think that if a person is in a relationship that they don't want to be in, and they are already the kind of person that might entertain that kind of action, then Dubai has the goods. It depends on how a person wants to exploit what a city has to offer. Can you trust men in Dubai? Can you trust women in Dubai? I think the real question isn't so much can you trust men or women in general. I think the question is more, can you trust the person that you are already dating or the person that you want to date? Do people commit less? The general consensus from the survey or the questions which I sent out is yes. And I think that does stem from the fact that because there are so many options, I guess it makes it harder for people in general to want to commit right away. It's like going to an ice cream shop and the only flavors that they have are like strawberry and vanilla. You've got to choose one, right? But in Dubai, it's like going to the most comprehensive ice cream parlor you've ever been to, and it has all the basic flavors, but then it's got all the new exciting flavors And then it's got some newly invented flavors. How can I just stick with this one when I haven't tried all these other ones? And I'm just saying this is a matter of observation. I think eventually that novelty wears off. The reason why I think that at the beginning it can be a little bit tricky, because you realize that people don't really know what they want, and maybe you don't even know what you want. But perhaps if you stay there long enough to settle, the novelty sort of starts to die down a little bit, because you do start to yearn for a more normal life. Is it harder to make a relationship last in Dubai? I don't think the answer is much different from anywhere else in the world. If you're with the wrong person in Dubai or in Antarctica, then it's always going to be hard to make a relationship last. If you're with the right person and the timing is right and you share the same values and you have the same desire to make your relationship last, and you respect each other, all those good things that build a healthy relationship, then I don't think it would be much harder to make your relationship last in Dubai more than others. Perhaps you would have to exercise a little bit more patience or trust than in other places, but if you're in a good place in your relationship, then those issues would eventually be settled, especially if you end up staying there for a long time. If you're on shaky ground all the time and you've always been on shaky ground for one reason or another, it's always going to be hard to make your relationship last. I have seen relationships disintegrate in Dubai is not much different from seeing a relationship disintegrate here in Australia. I've seen some people here in Australia who are in worse off situations than some people who are in Dubai. So I don't think that it is harder to make a relationship last in Dubai. The decision to commit and to also get the same decision from someone else, I think, is harder than making a relationship last. With a city like Dubai, I compare it a little bit to cities like New York or Sydney or Vegas, where there are a lot of single people who are out to have a good time, and that can create a bad image for the dating scene, only because if you're single and you're meeting a lot of people and you're dating a lot of people, then it might just feel like you're churning right through humanity, when in fact at the end of the day it's really all relative to numbers. If you're the kind of person who believes that there is one person in the world for you and you date 500 people, then yeah, it's going to feel like a pretty bad dating scene, because it's going to take you 499 people to get to that one person. If you date 5 people and you have that one person there, then you only have to go through 4 people. By relativity, it's always going to appear that it's worse. With a wide range of ethnicities and cultures that you meet, it can be quite exciting, but at the same time, that same excitement, that element of a relationship can be both the pro and the con. It can be the pro because you learn so much about a whole other nation through one person, but then it can also be a con if by the end of the day your cultural values prevent you from being with each other. With a culture comes values, beliefs, religions, and again, for that reason, it can cause people to not take dating so seriously, or to be a little bit more afraid of commitment, because not only are they committing to a person, perhaps they would have to start looking at committing to a whole new set of beliefs. It happens. I think if you go to Dubai, it's quite easy to say you're going to meet a lot of people. Not everyone's going to knock your socks off, but not everyone is, idiot. So there's going to be medium, and until you meet the right person, whether you're in Dubai or somewhere else, Dubai just puts a lot more people on the platter. When you meet someone in Dubai, it's almost like meeting the two-dimensional version of them. And the reason I say that is because when you're in Dubai and you meet a whole bunch of other expats whose natural environment is not the UAE, and you meet the person that they present themselves to be, and the things that they say and how they behave in that moment and in that environment. If you were to take that person and, perhaps go home and get to know them and get to know what their natural surroundings are like, the environment that they grew up in, or an environment that they know very well, or perhaps you meet their family, or both. Maybe you meet their childhood friends. All of a sudden, this person that you knew, that person who pretty much had the trunk of a tree and all the leaves that make it so pretty, it starts to grow roots. And all of a sudden, it's complete. It's a complete picture, and you become three-dimensional. And whether that helps the relationship or if it causes it to flounder, the third dimension of person may be that element that just needed to make your relationship stronger, or that third dimension of that person could have been the thing that you needed to let you know that it wasn't going to work. But at the end of the day, people are people, right? So I can tell you so much about dating in Dubai. And that might give you clarity about dating in Dubai, but at the end of the day, each person's experience is going to be very different. Everyone's opinions about relationships in Dubai are going to definitely vary. They're going to be very different. Just about me, I've been in a relationship for almost 4 years now, and this relationship started at the very end of my time in Dubai and was one of the main reasons why I stayed a little bit longer than what I had planned. I was going to leave at my 5-year mark and I ended up staying almost 2 years more. I knew that it wasn't very normal for me to meet someone that I liked a lot, so I thought I might give it a shot. And now look at this. Hello. And now we share a home together, so I'm glad I stayed. On that note, the tone of this video got a little bit serious because relationships can make people serious, and failed relationships can really hurt people and make people sad. But if you can but if you can find some sort of humor, then you'll be alright. Anyways, I just want to say thank you to my friends who participated in my survey. Thank you for being raw. Thank you for being honest. To you guys who are watching this, the voices were tweaked a little bit to protect those people who participated. I would love to ask to respect the feedback and the answers given to me by those people. So I'm not too sure whether this video answers the questions that you would have had about relationships. Let me know if I need to do a part 2. Please let me know what your questions are so that I can go and find answers to them. And one final disclaimer, even though this is a combination of ideas, opinions, and experiences of my own and my friends, the answers there are not by any means the be all and end all of all relationships in Dubai. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions or any requests to do a part 2, I'm not too sure whether that's necessary, or if you have any other questions that are related to this. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week.